Here we are working in Pro Tools 6. This is the OS X version of Pro Tools, and we're showing the betas of GRM Tools ST. The ST contains 4 plugins: Contrast, Equalize, Shift, and Freak Warp. This is the Contrast version. Contrast is a unique form of compression expansion. What it does is look at the spectral contents of the sound, and it breaks it up into groups based on the amplitude of the sound. So we have 3 colors representing the spectrum of the sound in their strengths. There's the yellow, which is the strong amplitudes, the red, which are the medium strength amplitudes, and the blue, which are the weak amplitudes. As we raise or lower the horizontal line delimiters, we weaken the strength of the amplitudes as we go up, and we strengthen them as we go down. Let's turn it up a little bit. So we make it more mellow as we weaken the signal, and we make it stronger and more metallic as we strengthen it. The gray waveform that you see is the resultant waveform. So we can limit an area that we want to affect, and we can tweak those levels. So boosting the weak levels, boosting the medium, taking out some of the strong. And if we decide that we like the way we have the vertical line delimiters grouped, we can hold down Shift and click and scrub them along our waveform. This is also the standard user interface of the GRM plugins. There's a conducting window that allows you to control various parameters of the plugin. There are sliders on the side that control other parameters that the conducting window doesn't control. And there are 16 savable snapshots. The 16 savable snapshots are set up here so that if you find settings the way you like it, you just command and click, and boom, you've got your snapshot saved. You can make a new setting. And here I'll do it without even playing the sound file. Change some other things here. Command, click. And now we've got 2 saved snapshots. We can morph between those snapshots with a timeline between 0 and 30 seconds. We'll set it to about 12.4. Play the audio file. Right now we're on number 14 because that's the last one I made. Now we can morph to number 4. Along the bottom, we have the super slider. The super slider is another way for us to morph between the presets, but we can do it on our own control. We can also use the elastic string. The elastic string is with command click, and that's just another smooth way to slide between our parameters. So that's contrast. Another new one in the ST bundle is called Freak Warp. Here's our original sound file. Now what we have going on here in the plugin are all the input bars here represents all the input frequencies from 0 Hz to 22 kilohertz. The density of the color between red and yellow represents the strength of the amplitudes of the components of the sound, in a similar way to the way contrast represents the strength of the spectrum. If I click a point here, I'm selecting that input frequency and transforming it to a new output frequency, which is represented here. That's my input frequency, that's the new output frequency. But it's changing the entire spectrum based on that change. So it's not simply transposing. We can also have a different resolution of the spectrum. Or we could have the interpolation as a linear. We can select multiple points. If we decide that we don't like certain points, we can just click them and drag them off the screen. Or option click to reset everything. If we decide that we have 2 points which we do like, we can shift click to group those points, then command click to move the points around. And of course we can mix it in with the original. So that's Freak Warp. The third member of the ST bundle that we have here, beta on OS X, is Shift. Shift has 2 functions. Here is our original sound file, which is also actually going through contrast. So, Shift has 2 basic functions. The first function, called Shift, is adding to the partials of the spectrum of the sound. It's acting as a single sideband ring modulator. The other function of Shift is Scale, which multiplies the partials, transposing the sound. And both together and of course we can mix that too.